The year is 2025. The Catholic Church, a beacon of faith for over 2 billion souls, stands at a crossroads. The weight of tradition, the complexities of modern society, and the ever-present yearning for spiritual guidance converge. It is in this time of both challenge and opportunity that a new leader emerges, a shepherd for a new age, Pope Tagle. Luis Antonio Tagle, a man of deep faith and profound intellect, had long been seen as a rising star within the Church. Born in the Philippines, Tagle brought with him a unique perspective, a blend of Eastern and Western traditions. His warmth, humility, and ability to connect with people from all walks of life resonated deeply within the College of Cardinals. Tagle's journey to the papacy was marked by his unwavering commitment to the gospel and his deep understanding of the challenges facing the Church in the 21st century. He had served as Archbishop of Manila, President of Caritas Internationalis, and Prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. When the white smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling the election of a new pope, the world held its breath. The announcement came, a name whispered on the wind, Tagle. A new era had begun, full of both promise and uncertainty. The world watched, eager and anxious, as Pope Tagle prepared to deliver his first apostolic exhortation. This document, a papal letter offering guidance on a specific area of church teaching, would set the tone for his papacy. On a crisp January morning, the decree was released. Its title, simple yet profound, sent shockwaves throughout the Catholic world. The Gospel of Mercy, embracing our shared humanity. Within its pages lay a message that challenged deeply held beliefs, sparked intense debate, and left many speechless. At the heart of the decree was a radical call for inclusivity. Pope Tagle, drawing on the gospel message of love and compassion, called for a more welcoming and less judgmental church. He spoke of the need to embrace those on the margins, those who had felt excluded or marginalized. He challenged the Church to confront its own failings, its own history of prejudice and discrimination. Traditionalists reacted with anger and dismay, accusing Tagle of betraying centuries of doctrine. Others embraced the message with open arms, seeing it as a long overdue step towards a more just and compassionate faith. Tagle urged Catholics to engage in dialogue, to listen to one another with open hearts and minds. The ink was barely dry on the decree before interpretations and analyses began to circulate. Theologians, scholars, and everyday Catholics grappled with the implications of Tagle's words. The decree, while clear in its message of inclusivity, left much open to interpretation. This ambiguity, whether intentional or not, fueled the fires of discussion and debate. Some saw the decree as a radical departure from traditional teachings, a sign that Pope Tagle was prepared to overturn centuries of doctrine. Others argued that Tagle was not rejecting tradition, but rather reinterpreting it in light of the challenges facing the Church in the 21st century. The debate raged on, in pulpits and pews, in seminaries and universities, in homes and online forums. The decree had touched a nerve, exposing deep divisions within the Church. Yet, amidst the controversy, there was also a sense of hope. Tagle's words had opened a door for dialogue and discernment. As the initial shockwaves subsided, a clearer picture began to emerge of the Church Tagle envisioned. It was a church deeply rooted in tradition, yet open to the signs of the times. Tagle's vision was one of a church that was both universal and local, able to speak to the needs of people from all cultures and walks of life. He recognized that the Church, while one in faith, was also diverse in its expressions of that faith. He encouraged local churches to adapt their practices to their specific contexts, while remaining faithful to the core tenets of the gospel. Central to Tagle's vision was a renewed emphasis on the Church's social mission. He called for a church that was actively engaged in the world, working for justice, peace, and the care of creation. Tagle's vision was ambitious, challenging, and for some unsettling. It was a vision that called for a church that was not afraid to engage with the complexities of the modern world while remaining firmly grounded in the timeless truths of the gospel. The impact of Tagle's decree reverberated far beyond the Vatican walls, reaching every corner of the globe where the Catholic faith had taken root. From bustling cities to remote villages, from grand cathedrals to humble chapels, Tagle's words sparked a global conversation, eliciting a wide range of reactions. In many parts of the world, particularly in the global south, where Tagle's personal charisma and pastoral approach resonated deeply, the decree was met with hope and enthusiasm. Many saw it as a sign that the church was finally beginning to listen to the voices of those on the margins. However, in other parts of the world, particularly in more conservative pockets of Europe and North America, the decree was met with resistance and even outright hostility. Traditionalist groups accused Tagle of promoting a watered-down version of Catholicism, of sacrificing doctrine in the name of inclusivity. The media, both secular and religious, seized upon the story, dissecting the decree, analyzing its implications, and amplifying the voices of both its supporters and detractors. The release of the decree brought to the surface long-simmering tensions within the church. Tensions between those who yearned for change and those who clung tightly to tradition. The fault lines ran deep, dividing families, parishes, even entire nations. On one side were those who embraced Tagle's message of inclusivity and dialogue, seeing it as a breath of fresh air. They were energized by Tagle's vision, inspired by his courage, and eager to be part of building a more welcoming and compassionate church. On the other side were those who felt deeply unsettled by Tagle's decree, fearing that it represented a dangerous departure from traditional teachings. They saw the church as a bastion of truth in a world adrift, a source of stability and certainty in a sea of change. The divisions within the church were real, painful, and seemingly intractable. Yet amidst the polarization, there were also glimmers of hope. Catholics began engaging in respectful dialogue, seeking to understand one another's perspectives. One of the most striking aspects of Tagle's papacy was his unwavering commitment to dialogue. He recognized that the Church, in order to effectively proclaim the gospel in the 21st century, needed to be in conversation with the world. Tagle's call for dialogue was not a sign of weakness or a willingness to compromise on core principles. Rather, it was rooted in the conviction that authentic dialogue, grounded in mutual respect and a genuine desire to understand, could be a powerful tool for healing, reconciliation, and growth. He challenged Catholics to move beyond their echo chambers, to engage with those who held different views, and to listen with open hearts and minds. Tagle's emphasis on dialogue was not without its critics. Some accused him of being naive, of underestimating the intractable nature of certain theological and moral disagreements. As the years of Tagle's papacy unfolded, it became clear that his legacy would be defined not by sweeping pronouncements or dramatic gestures, but by his steadfast commitment to the gospel message of love, mercy, and compassion. He led not by imposing his will, but by inviting dialogue, fostering understanding, and building bridges of unity within a divided church. Tagle's impact was felt most deeply in the lives of ordinary Catholics who were touched by his humility, his warmth, and his genuine desire to meet them where they were. He was a pope who listened more than he spoke, who embraced more than he judged, and who saw in every person, regardless of their background or beliefs, a beloved child of God. His papacy was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from within the church hierarchy, criticism from conservative groups, and the ever-present weight of history and tradition. Yet through it all, he remained steadfast in his commitment to the gospel, his faith unwavering, his spirit undimmed. Pope Tagle's papacy, though relatively short, left an indelible mark on the Catholic Church. He had challenged long-held assumptions, sparked intense debate, and forced the Church to confront difficult questions about its identity and mission in the 21st century. The path ahead remained uncertain. The divisions within the Church had not magically disappeared. The challenges of modernity, the allure of secularism, and the ever-present reality of human sinfulness continued to test the faith of millions. Yet amidst the uncertainty, there was also a sense of hope, a sense that the Church, under Tagle's guidance, had embarked on a new chapter in its long and storied history. It was a moment of both great challenge and great opportunity, a moment that called for all Catholics to embrace the spirit of dialogue, to walk together in faith, and to seek the guidance of the Holy Spirit as they navigated the path ahead. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.